Word on the street. FisMaz Show. What's the word on the street? Like who got the beats that be killing the game? Who's up on the screen? Who playing who? What's the score on the sheet? Fiso the Prince got him taking the seat. Got the legends giving us the 411. Fiso Muz from the 031. No hating sports and entertainment when we got it on and we're the only ones. And after all that action, never how we dripping high fashion. Drippy on some rich amnesty stylists and soak up with passion. If it's giving us less, then we never settle. Make sure you pull up and bring all your medals. Sit back and relax, let's go. It's FisMaz bringing you the FisMaz Show. It's the FisMaz Show. It's the FisMaz Show. It's the FisMaz Show. It's the FisMaz Show.
What up, y'all? JB Doom here, and you're listening to my main man on the FisMaz Show.
Football can kill you. Will kill you a real death. You will die because of football. They say football will kill you, a slow death. Hey, football. The beautiful game. I love it. The FisMaz Show. I don't know how I'm smiling. I didn't have a particular team in terms of the Caf Champions League final, but my two guests, they caused so much havoc the last time. I thought, you know what, I'm in part two. DJ Naves, Menzi Ngcobo. Hey, it's about to get heated. The boys are back in town. Naves has got a big smile on his face. Menzi, I don't know if that's a grin or a smile. Naves, you wanna come in here, Naves?
No, I'm here humbly. I think I said what I said and I stood by it. That there is no ways we will see the FC lift up the Caf Champions League. There's absolutely no ways. And I stood by it, you know. I continued. I received an Al Ahly jersey as a gift. And I posted myself wearing it on Saturday morning. Hey, I was insulted by members of this FC. To wear this FC.
FC. Why don't you want to say this name?
No, you can't do that. I'm not gonna do that. That FC.
Menzi Ngcobo.
I don't even know where to start. Honestly speaking, it's quite an awkward time to be a Chiefs supporter right now. Ngoba all we left with is hope, and now your 40 it's dwindling. Yeah, so it's very easy to pick on Chiefs and get away with it right now. Ngoba I can't even imagine any Chiefs supporter would have a good time.
Menzi, I'm sorry to laugh. I'm looking at this guy there. Menzi's pouring his soul out here, and Naves is there looking himself. Naves, come on, oh damn it.
And one of you, so you know me very well. I don't like conceding to defeat, and I hate losing. Kodwa kunezinye izinto mfethu othi uyibuka and you just realize ukuthi some of these things are just beyond your beliefs, your control, and your likes and dislikes. Some of these things are just beyond you, and Chiefs right now is beyond a lot of people.
I just don't understand. Did you really believe that you guys stood a chance against Al Ahly?
No, I didn't. Angeke nje ngize ngimoshe isikhathi sakho DJ Naves mfowethu. I didn't. My heart was saying Chiefs because I grew up supporting the club, but my head was telling me there's absolutely no way you can win against the club of the century with what we had to offer. There was no way. Absolutely no way. My football brain was telling me. I even told Fiso before the game, if we get away with this one, it will be an injustice to football.
But you know, I want to go back to, I guess, the words that were uttered the last time by that man screen there, DJ Naves. He said Kaizer Chiefs will never beat Wydad Casablanca, and they did that. So I don't know. I think let's start the debate there. You know, in terms of how did Chiefs do that? How did they get past Wydad Casablanca?
Can I just take that? Can I take that? Luck. We rode the luck until the very last bit of drop of luck that we could have squeezed out of the luck system, if there was such a thing called the luck system. Against Iwidad, we had 23 shots against us, and I think 11 were on target. We went and saw goalkeeper 3 times, only 3 times. Only one of those shots was on target, which was the goal, which was turned over by VAR. And then in the second leg, they still had about something like 70% of ball possession. We had about 30% ball possession. Gang is a Chelsea information as I say, 5-3-2, AB by 5-4-1, Ibui by 5-5-1. So, snaking Chiefs. So we rode our luck, and it was nice to pick on names after we won. But I knew at the back of my mind, which we can't do that again.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can honestly sit there and say to you, how did they do it? No one can tell you. Like Nabo, they were celebrating being through, and rightfully so. But no one could say to you, we did it because we played a strong defense and we pushed this and we did that. It was all like God's will.
And like
only the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
You know, the interesting note here is we're probably 5 minutes into the show, and Naves has still not said the name of this club. Like, Naves, why? Like, can you just say the name?
No, I can't do that. I've been accused of inciting violence, so I think it's in everybody's best interest that I don't mention that the FC's name.
Kota, that's disrespectful, for names to not call the club that just played the final of the Champions League by name. Yeah, no, that's disrespectful names. That's disrespectful.
That's my problem. You guys are arrogant about making a final that you lost at. Nobody's ever going to remember who played in the. They just remember who won.
Names. When I saw just say the Kaizer Chiefs, the Caf Champions League finalists who lost terribly to Al Ahly.
No, you want me to celebrate mediocrity?
No, you're not celebrating Chiefs. It's respect. Respect.
No, what is there to respect?
Irrespect, Chief. Club and good. If you go final, club and good.
You see, all these things are being talk. Based on what? What do you have to show for your bigness? Big teams
You know what? Naves, you know, when I try and explain the pain that my friend Menzi Ngcobo is feeling, I go back to the final. I thought we were both watching the final because I was watching at home. And then I'm like, hey, man, did you just see that? When Eric Matoho just decided to leave the guy. He's like, I'm just going to leave this guy. I'm like, oh, Menzi. And he's like, I'm in bed. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, I've never had Menzi Ngcobo saying he's not watching Chiefs in a Caf Champions League final. I had to send him the video of the goal to be like, this is what just happened. And he did not listen.
No, but it's a tough one, though. I think I've said this for years. Eric Matoho was playing for Bafana at the time when I really saw this being exposed, where they played the long ball over his head. And Ghana, we're playing against Ghana, and Ghana just finished us. I think Senzo Meyiwa was in goal in that game. Then we came back to the PSL, and I realized all the games, the Chiefs, the way to beat them is just to play that ball over. If you play the ball over Cardoso, over Matoho, you're behind them, you're finished, you know? And in this instance, from I kept rewinding and watching, but Akpe called and then canceled the call. But it looks bad on Matoho now because, you know, that was his man. And by all soccer rules, even though he calls, you are supposed to follow the ball to safety. The ball is never safe until it's out.
Menzi,
that's the king I am in. That's the king I am in. In king I am in. Sometimes we can complicate football as coaches and football people. If you're going to play a 5-3-2, what you're saying is, I'm playing 3 center backs an additional a right back and a left back, who are actually right wing backs and left wing backs. That's what you actually say. So what we had was Umphahlele, Umatoho, Nokados. And then we had Frosler, who's actually a right-footed player. Ngobana ambidextrous, we played him on the left. Then on the right, we had Mashiane, who's actually a left-footed player. Ngana. So manje, what ended up happening, sesinabantu about 2 who are played out of possession. I'm a defender now 3. The back line. So what happens when you have 3 center backs is that Lomonye thinks when we are covered, while the other one is covering. Now Lomonye comes when you are covered and none of you are covering. So we are the right back slots, can't make power in the slot. He's in trouble. Number one, he doesn't trust his pace, so he's not going to run back and try and chase and get the ball. He doesn't trust one-on-ones because he's not sure which recover. So you ended up having a problem where we considered 2 goals. Indecisiveness. There's a space behind. He doesn't follow the man. He goes to Ipali. He goal. Bola over. Indecisive. We check to the offside trap. We are runner. Shy. It's gonna keep on happening. I trust the pace here. And it's going to keep on happening. In Kinga, the information there.
You know,
So
that,
I think
yeah, come in, Naves.
if there's one person that can sort that out, it is Stuart Baxter. If they're going to go with the 3 defenders route for the season, which is something Baxter believes in. Why I say this is because having spoken to Amachita that have played under Baxter, to get that thing right, Baxter ties a rope around guys. Then he stops you in the middle of this thing and says, look at your positioning. How are you going to get there if this is how you guys are sitting 2 square? You know what I mean? Secondly, this thing of, and Steve Compella spoke about this a while ago, that the 3 defenders is a thing of the future. He was still at Chiefs when he spoke about playing the 3 defenders is a thing of the future. But it requires a certain level of intelligence and understanding of players. And I'll say to you like this, at Sundowns, we play a 4-3-3, right? But it changes because what we do is the 2 center backs move to the top of the D, of the top of the big box. So if you're going to position it as the top of the big box, on the far end, you'll put the 1 center back and the other one on the other side. Then Rivaldo drops into the middle and becomes the 3rd one like that. First person coming in, Rivaldo is confronting that one. These other 2 are watching for anything else that is coming in before the cover comes back to close that thing. But that thing takes time to implement, and it also takes a certain level of, you need to be smart. I'm sorry, that's the best way to put it.
So are you saying that, hey, Amachita, I work smart?
I'm saying that I would have started in Gezana.
Thank God you're not the coach. Yo.
No, but let me tell you why I'm saying that. Gezana's been playing all the games. Right? Gezana is not a wing back. Gezana will stay at the back. Cardoso will stay. Matoho will stay. You will have a tactical formation with those 3 there. Giving Frosler a bit more room to go up, giving Mashiane a little bit more space to go forward. I am not saying Gezana is a good player. Don't get me wrong. I am not saying that. I'm not saying, I'm looking at what's available. I am not saying I would. Okay. No, if we're going to do that, I wouldn't have showed up for the fight. If that's what we're going to do then. But I'm saying based on, and also I think that the change on the bench was also a big problem. I really think they should have left Dylan Shepard and Arthur Zwane to have
And that was the next point I wanted to make, because there are people that are making the argument that why bring in Stewart for that last game? You know, surely if these other guys had kind of had a way to get past these big teams, they should have just left them. You know, did Stuart Baxter want to come in and try and be positive? Did he want to change things? Menzi, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, but you guys have to remember, Stuart Baxter had been in charge of the team for a while. Even the two-legged semi-final against Wydad Casablanca, he was already coaching the team. It's just that he hadn't got the work permit, so he wasn't on the bench. And even the last two matches of the PSL, where the Chiefs qualified for the top 8 in the last game, he was already in charge of what was happening in training. So you can't really say Uti Fanelest and Dylan Shepard to continue, because it was already Stewart who was coaching the team. It's just that he wasn't on the bench. So it'd been there for a while. But I want to move on to something else, guys. We're talking about this 5-3-2 as if that's the formation he's going to be playing in the coming season. He's not. I can tell you now, he's not going to be playing that formation. He did that game because he thought, because of the lack of quality in the team, he could be able to hold fort and take the game to the dogs, take the game to extra time, make it a slugfest, take the game to penalties, and maybe by a stroke of luck, Swaz win. And he even mentioned to one of my other people, Luguti, listen, I'm going to try and be conservative in this game because I don't have the quality to go at Al-Ahly. I'm going to try and close the shop and see what happens. But after the red card, that plan capitulated because Kahelati didn't have a plan B. So they were exposed. They only went into the game with one plan. And no one would think, in a final, you'd get a red card in the first half. So no one prepares for that type of thing. It's like decide to lose. I understand. It's the same thing. So as soon as that red card happened, plan A went out the window. So half time, sebezama manje ukwenza ukudlala i4-4-1 ngokuthi bafake uBilliard bakhiphe uNgcobo. Kanti lapho sebeyayiphula akasekho umuntu osozokwazi ukumaka. Yalahleka lapho.
And I mean, you look at that particular system. I know a lot of Kaizer Chiefs fans, again, speaking about taking off a guy like Ngcobo, leaving a guy like Bernard Parker on. You know, does Parker give them enough in terms of creativity? You know, I'm a big fan of DeHont Menzi, but I don't know if there's any bite left in the old dog.
I can tell you now, he's going to be doing his coaching badges for next season. He's probably going to be coaching some of the junior teams, good Chiefs. He's not coming back for the next season. That's some interesting news that I just got off the shelf. He's not going to be part of the team next season. I can give you a list of who's going to be there and who's coming and who's going if you want it.
Please. We're waiting.
Right, okay. Here's the list. Parker out. He's doing his coaching badges. Going to be coaching next season. Moleko out. Ndiandia out. Mpahlele out. Sasman is going to Swallows. He's out. Uzulu is gone. Uzuma is still a question mark over him, so his story is still up in the air. Moleko gone. Agay gone. Nkambule gone. Who's coming in? Ngcobo, Udube, Mabiliso, Sekhota, Tibeti, Hlanti, Nange, Peterson. Who turned at the door? Hamildeen. Why? The chairman said he's too old and can't sign a striker that's aging. Another person who turned at the door, Upumlan Changas, it's a defensive midfielder who had actually signed for the Chiefs, but Kevin Hunt said, no, I don't want this guy because he was preparing for Onange to form part of that new team. So they basically ripped that contract apart and then he continued back with Maritzburg United. So that's basically team news.
Okay.
The Hamildeen story.
So Hamildeen, the deal was like done and dusted. Like literally, it was ink on paper. But the chairman intervened at the last minute and said, no, we can't sign a player who can't give us at least 2 or 3 seasons at the top flight. We need to sign for the future. But Indibimnan denies that he was going to come free because they're still not going to buy. None of these players actually are bought. All of these players that are signed by Chiefs are free agents. So that's why Hamildeen fell through. It was a done deal, basically. But that deal fell through just before Stuart joined the club. So yeah, that's that. Hamildeen's not coming to Chiefs.
Keegan Dolly
might be going to Al-Ahly or going to Europe. The Chiefs thing is a third option, a very distant third option. He doesn't want to come back and play in the PSL. He is in the country right now, but he's not going to sign for Chiefs.
But there has been a rumor that Chiefs are going to secure a big fish.
There's two
I don't
players.
know. What big fish is
There's
that?
two players. There's two players that Chiefs are going to sign. I can't name them at the moment because talks are still going on. And I would love to name them, but it's one local player. It's one local player and player from African. I can't name.
You can name them.
No, I was also figure when I want to back on Saturday.
Tina's right. Let me tell you. So I heard the rumor about. There was a rumor on Sunday morning about Tulani Serrero, that he was seen at the village.
Yo, guys, I'm running out of battery. Yo.
Why are you running out of battery now all of a sudden? Names, what are you coming with here?
Serrero, I can confirm it's not going to happen. They were also talking about Bongazungu.
Not happening.
I can confirm no, not happening. I was actually, I'm almost 70% sure that the Keegan Dolly thing also will not happen. They can't afford the wages.
Not happening.
Can't afford the signing on fee.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because now Menzi is supposed to be bringing us some hot news. It looks like he's gone. I think his battery's gone. Now it's no. I think we've lost Menzi. It's fine. We'll carry on, Naves. I just want to, from a Sundowns point of view, obviously with regards to signings, Kutumela comes in, a player that I guess some people feel couldn't cut it at a big club like Pirates. Probably more the demand will be even higher at a club like Mamelodi SUNDOWNS. The competition is higher. Some players, I guess we feel that they just players that excel in the right environments, and maybe sometimes those high performance spaces like SUNDOWNS just aren't it. So I don't know what you think.
Look, man, I've had chats, with people, and Ukutumela is an amazing player, but for some reason, at the atmosphere and then he starts to have issues. So it's going to be an interesting one. I don't know what the thinking was or what informed the decision to go after Kutumela. But it's going to be interesting to see how they use him at the team, if they use him.
I mean, you mentioned that. I mean, does I guess the injury history, Kermit Erasmus, come into play? Is that not a factor? I mean,
look at it. Peter Shalulile, Kermit Erasmus, Gift Mutupa, Spusiso Vilagazi, Afonso, the new guy from Serbia, Paramani, and now Kutumela.
Hey, Muna, what's going on with Pagamani Matlambi?
Hey, Muna, Pagamani is a problem.
Hey, guys, that's one of this. It's just a sad story. Like, you look at a guy like that.
Very because he's so talented.
The amount of talent he has. You look at, to have been signed by Al-Akhli.
But talent is not enough, Fiso.
Hey.
Talent alone is not enough.
Yo, guys, like the saddest thing is it's just seeing things from a distance. You just see like, oh, I've seen this movie before.
When he moved to Durban, I feared it the most because moving to Durban, he was going to be with his childhood friends. Which means, is he going to be able to make it? He didn't play there at Amazulu. He was sent on loan to go and prove himself. He didn't play.
Yeah. It's sad, man. It's sad when you think about that talent. I mean, again, like I said, it's a movie we've seen before. Menzi had run away. It looks like he's crept back into the mix.
I haven't run away.
This is what beatings do. This is what beatings do up north, eh?
I can't put my camera on at the moment because where I am, the lighting is bad, but I can answer any other questions you have. I'm sure you've seen my face enough with the shame.
Look, we were just touching on, Sundowns, obviously the acquisition of Kutumela, a player that I'm sure you would have had a close look at. And then we also looked at the resources that they had up front, So maybe just a quick touch on Kutumela from your side. And then I want you to come in and build on Naves' points with regards to the talents of Phakamani Mahlambi, which seem to be going down the drain?
Yo, can I start with the Phakamani Mahlambi one? It's actually quite sad, so to see a player who had so much potential, who was showing, by all intents and purposes, to be the next best thing in our country. It's one of the things we're struggling with in South African football, my good friends. These young budding talents that we praise too early that just never seem to make the next step into the next level. Phakamani has suffered from early glory, from talent. He suffered from the South African disease of players who creep up into the scene and get fame and fortune at a young age, and then they blow it. So he's obviously struggled with substance abuse and alcohol abuse, and just basically he hasn't been able to handle the whole stardom about his life and his talents. So it's actually quite sad to see that type of story. And he had a chance, we saw Naves. He had a chance to go at AmaZulu and resuscitate his career, but even there, he couldn't crack the starting 11. The other one was, sorry, can you just repeat the other one?
Thabiso Kutumela signing for Sundowns.
Yazuti, he's not the only one. Yazuti is not the only one. I think they also signed Uhlongwane, and they're probably going to sign him and loan him back to his Sundowns, to Imarisbeck. So that's going to be another hush-hush deal. So by the time you guys see Uhlongwane move to Sundowns, you would think he's a new signing, but he's actually an old signing. Ukutumela is actually also an old signing. They already pinned him down before the season was over. It was just a matter of time for him to make the crossover. He's part of that whole, I want to call it like the transfer corridor between Imarisbeck and the Sundowns, where all their next best players are automatically sort of shipped into the Sundowns winning machine, if you will. So I don't think he's going to play. I don't see him putting Ushalulile on the bench. I don't see him putting Umamboe on the bench. I don't see him coming in as a number 10. He's probably going to add onto the squad for a Champions League, and it's probably going to be good for a few cup games. I don't see him starting. I know Naves might argue differently. He's just going to add on the quality there, but he's not. I don't see him starting. It's a good acquisition. And again, Sundowns has done it again. They've taken another player out of circulation. They've again strangled the market, but it's fine. It's okay. We'll live. We'll continue with the scraps that we'll have left.
There's no comment.
Nah, this is tavern talk, man. Once again, tavern talk. I can't get involved in tavern talk. I need you to come with budget. If you want players, you must show your muscle. Big players want big salaries. And if your team's not going to pay big salaries, forget about it. But you need to tell us about these two signings you spoke about.
No, Chief. I can't talk about those signings at the moment, Chief. I'm speaking under duress. I can't be made to divulge such information. Shout out on your show, actually. Hot scoop. We're probably going to sign 2 more players, right? One player from some budget African country. I'm sorry, I can't mention which budget African country it is.
You call another country a budget country.
So let me tell you something. No, I'm talking in terms of football. I'm not trying to discriminate. Let me tell you something. Ep Chiefs is not going to buy any player. Will it transfer window? So Chiefs fans and followers of football must just take that out of their minds. Akomdlali ezotengwa Chiefs. Chiefs will only sign free agents, only. So you can just think off the top of your head, who's free right now in South Africa? No one. So no one is going to be signed for free. Udoli is free, but he's not going to come to Chiefs. Not because of his salary. Chiefs can pay him 600,000 Genyang. It's not an issue of salary. For Udoli, it's an issue of where he wants to play. Games will do names. They can't afford his wages. What wages? They can afford his wages. It's not an issue. The issue is the issue.
Paid player in the league. That's what it's going to take. Also, his signing on fee alone will be like 10 bar.
Yeah, dude, it's not going to be 10 bar for someone who's going to be coming from a top European league and coming to play in the PSL. Any player who drops from a tier A league to a tier B or tier C league knows which is a salary card. So it's never going to be an issue of matching him for what he was paid in Europe.
All right,
No
gents, we're
problem.
out of time. We're out of time. Unfortunately, you know, I gotta say goodbye to all of you. Yeah, man.
I'm not finished with this.
10 bar.
I'm not finished here. You can't do that. I'm not finished.
You know, I thought I'm gonna just let these guys go and sleep, but hey, Naves was like, I can't sleep. I can't sleep. I'm
No,
not
but
done with
we're not done. He must come out here with his stories of
10
chicken
bar.
legs.
10 bar.
This is what I'm saying to you. Here's what I'm saying to you. Let's say you're going to take a pay cut. So let's say you are playing in Europe. You're earning 1.2 million a month. Now you need to come to South Africa. You need to come home. How much of a pay cut are you willing to take?
You're gonna take the exchange rate cut of your salary. So if you're a top paid player, for example, Ubain, when he came back and played for the Pirates, he was on 1.8 million a month. Mayfield with Pirates, he was on 450K, which in terms of the South African market, it's a pay cut in terms of what you were getting in terms of the rand value. But in terms of the value of the market in South Africa, you're a top paid player. So that's the type of cut that you take.
But Pirates has never been known to be a big salary paying team. So
They aren't. They aren't. But yeah, but the Sundowns doesn't pay that much either. It's just that the Sundowns has a good balance in terms of his salary across the board. The highest paid player in the PSL. It's a good fucking scale. The highest paid player in the PSL is Kama Billiard. I told with Sundowns.
Yes, but when we signed Kama, he wasn't the player that went to Chiefs.
100%.
For the money we signed Kama for and what we reaped out of Kama, compared to what Chiefs is getting for him as the highest paid player, you have nothing to show for it. So that's another bad example that you should not use.
No, we're talking salary.
Now,
don't get all worked up. We're talking salary.
Let's get into
salary.
it. Yes.
The highest paid player in the PSL is a Chiefs.
Okay. And then after that,
actually, that ends that part of the argument. That's not
no, you're talking about a single player.
Yeah. We were talking about the value of
how much is Kama sitting on?
Sorry?
How much is Kama sitting on?
500.
Cool. Who's the next closest player to Kama at Chiefs?
Kune.
At how much?
380, 400.
All right, cool. Let's go to Sundowns.
Yeah.
Highest paid player at Sundowns.
You tell me.
No, but you were speaking like now that ends.
No, you tell me.
That ends that conversation.
You tell me about 10 bar. 10 bar. You tell me about your team. Tell me about your team.
But wait, Menzi, because Menzi, you stated that Sundowns is not an essentially Chiefs league with regards to paying salaries. So you've got to break it down for us then.
Okay, so let me put it this way. If, for example, Ukutumelo was playing at Maritzburg, and again, Naves is going to have me for dinner about this. God, just give me a chance. Ukutumelo was probably on 80,000, right? We Maritzburg. He comes to Sundowns, he's probably going to be on 200. Are you with me? Are you still there?
I'm still here.
Yeah, he's probably going to be on 200 at max. He's probably going to come in at 150. So that's big money, and he's not going to play. He's going to get a signing-on fee of probably $1 million first season, 1.5 in the second season. If he signed a 3-year contract, he's probably going to get $2 million in the third one. Or if he signed 5 years, like people are saying in the media space, the first year is going to be $1 million signing-on fee, 1.2, 1.3, 1.5. Camper, by the time he gets to the 4th or 5th year of his contract, is going to be on R2 million signing-on fee. And the nice thing about the Sundowns packages is that they give you your signing-on fee. And with Chiefs, they pay your sign-on fee as installments, like they break it up in 3s or in 6s, and it comes as a part of your salary. So that's the difference in terms of the financial structure of how the clubs pay. But in terms of the rand value of the salary, some of the Chiefs players earn more than some of the Sundowns players. But overall, the squad salary bar is higher at Sundowns than it is at Chiefs. I hope I'm making sense. overall
Names,
is what I'm trying to say.
Who pays more?
What's the names?
Who pays more?
Chiefs.
Okay, but Sundowns has a higher salary bill.
You've got 36 players, dude.
Man,
Of course you're going to have a higher salary bill.
First of all, all my South Americans are paid in their contracts are negotiated in US dollars.
Okay.
All of them, right?
Okay.
My top 5 earners at Sundowns are the 3 South Americans, AJ, and Pagamani.
Mm-hmm.
My top 5 previous
Sure.
season. I'm talking about from this season. I'm not
Sure.
talking with the new Zwane contract. I'm not talking about the edited Sereno contract, right?
Okay.
I also think that you need to go back to the drawing board and make sure that you get these numbers correct. Because
Which number?
what I can tell you is that Kune is not sitting on 380,
What is he sitting on?
250.
Ayikho leyo nto eshoyo names. Ayikho.
Okay, ufuna sleep sack.
Skip it. Skip it.
Oh, but when I full keep on signing.
Mara
Mara full on masala sleep. Ngeke uyithole. Konke leyo.
But I can tell you now, which Kune is not on 250. Is not.
Bro, you must remember that when Kune had the issues with Chiefs and they were renegotiating the contract. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I'm listening.
The amount of money that was requested was higher than the 380 you're talking about.
100%.
They landed on 250 before performance bonuses.
Sure.
Young Tol. So
Yeah.
Ungathola ukuthi with full performance bonuses, he lands on 380.
Chief, it's very difficult for us to argue on like really scrap pieces of information and intel. Mina, what I can say to you, my brother, is that it's fine. We can be throwing figures like in the air. But I can tell you right now for free, he's on way more than 250. He's on way more than 250.
Tell you for free is that I need to be careful how I say this.
Chief, got the chief. Eh?
No. I need to be very careful. George Maluleke is a friend of mine. It's no secret.
Sure.
George moved from Chiefs to Sundowns.
Sure.
Okay? And I can tell you that the difference between the Chiefs contract and the Sundowns contract,
sure,
there was a difference.
For sure. Pero ukhumbule ukuthi uGeorge Naves. No, fanele ukhumbule chief. I Naves. Maluleke. Aqede ngoGeorge. Ubukhumbula ukuthi uGeorge, when he broke into stardom at Chiefs, where he phuma?
Are you referring to George Libisi now, Menzi?
Lebisi.
No, I was talking about Maluleke.
Oh. That's a different story.
You can't pick and choose what works for you, Menzi, and what doesn't.
No, but you were talking about George. I didn't know which George you were talking about. Okay, now I know who you're talking about. So I don't know anything about George's contract. I asked about that contract. But what I can tell you is that these contracts differ based on a number of factors, which I know you know very well, Naves. And again, we can argue about who pays more, who pays less, but it is an imbalanced scale depending on who negotiated the contract, at what position you were at the time you negotiated the contract. But in terms of the two highest paying clubs, the Sundowns and the Chiefs are the highest paying clubs in the country. The thing is, it differs from player to player. The contract to George had at Chiefs was worthy of what he got at the time. He might be getting more at Sundowns because he was signed as a trophy. But when he got there, he's not playing. He's probably not going to be there this season. They're going to ship him out. He's gone.
That's not true.
And he's probably not going to be playing. You can ask him.
That is baseless. You have nothing to base that on.
Did he play this season?
Yes, he did play.
How many games did he play?
That was not the question. The question was, did he play? You can't move the goalpost to suit yourself. Didn't Dia
He's not going to play. He's not going to play.
Dia play this season? Yes.
Are you what? Get up in Dia.
No, I'm giving you an example. This was not about the number of games played. The question was, did he play?
Chief, you really think I would minimize the question to a simple yes or no? I'm trying to set the tone for the conversation. It's the context I'm trying to get at.
Okay, if you're basing this, did he play as many games based on what he used to play at Chiefs?
Yes.
No.
That's what I'm basing it on. He didn't.
No, he didn't. Yes.
And he won't.
Come again?
And he won't.
No, and he won't. That's fine.
Yeah.
Because
that's what I said.
In the same vein, man, I can argue the same thing about Katsande. Did he play as many games as... No, he didn't.
No, true.
Rogers moved into a new team that had an established structure. I'm talking, the captain of the team didn't play as many games as he did the previous season.
True, and they want to loan him out as well.
You understand? That's fine. Leave the loans alone.
No, I just wanted to throw it in.
No, look, don't worry about that. You've got bigger problems to worry about.
Naves, he's a Caf Champions League finalist, man. You must
we're never gonna remember that nonsense. That arrogance of making a final and being walloped 3-0. We'll never ever remember that. In fact, we're embarrassed on what happened there. You embarrassed the nation. That's what happened.
Yeah, it wasn't embarrassing.
It was embarrassing. You hooligans want to be angry at us for supporting a different South African from you guys.
No, I can't speak for all Chief supporters.
English man on your bench.
Chief, you're starting other problems.
No.
You're starting other problems. You're starting other problems, man.
Listen.
You're starting other problems.
Don't move the goalposts.
Chief, I respect Upito for everything, for all my worth. But to be honest with you,
no, you can't say bad.
No. There is a but. There is a but.
What is that but? What is that but?
I think the but is those types of comments were not called for. There was no reason for him to point out the fact that the coach sitting on the opposite bench is not South African. What the hell does that have to do with the price of bread? It has absolutely nothing to do.
How you are any team misquotation. You've got to mute this guy, my brother. He's misquoting the coach. What
am I misquoting? What does it have to do with anything? It has nothing to do with anything.
Pizzo said.
Yana, you should be happy. You should be happy. You should be happy.
You must
no, but you can't. I'm not wrong.
You are wrong.
And for what? For what?
These were Pizzo's words. And it's in context. You must first also understand that. He said, people took a risk by hiring me, an African. Usually teams in the North go for the Europeans. We as Africans have also got ideas. So we should also be trusted. Not to say there's anything wrong with the Europeans, but as Africans, we must also be given a chance. That's what Pizzo said. Don't take what you want.
No. Next. Let's go back to context. The context of the situation is the guy sitting on the opposite bench is European. So it is a comment said with tongue in cheek. He is poking at the fact that...
What fact? Who was the previous Al Ahly coach?
He was in Portugal. Portugal.
He was a European.
It doesn't matter. There was no need for him to talk about that.
You cannot decide what one must say and cannot say.
It has no place in what he had to say.
When Bob Stake said, you guys must go and tell your fathers to start their own team so you can support your own team. This is a family business. What about that? Was there a place for that?
You're taking the goalpost.
Oh, okay. So now that it's back to you, it's no longer nice.
No, it's 10 bar.
It's no longer nice now.
Hey, guys,
now we must be sensitive now. We must be worried about the feelings now.
I'm worried about this guy.
We could go back and forth the whole night. But
No,
maybe
you must apologize. You owe Coach Peter an apology. You must
No, I don't owe him anything. I don't owe that guy anything.
You must retract
Good
that.
luck to him. I'm happy for him for his winning and everything it's going on. I don't owe him anything. Good luck to him and his family. Good luck to him and his Al-Akhli family and his North African people. I'm happy for them. Good luck.
No
I
problem.
don't owe him anything.
Withdraw.
No, I'm not withdrawing. I'm not withdrawing.
Withdraw. This is why
No.
Chiefs going to get relegated.
I'm not withdrawing. Relegated.
so.
No,
Menzi,
please.
just to move
Sure.
forward, Naves is touching on Chiefs potentially being relegated.
Nah,
With the signings you've made, with I guess with the new coach, the European coach, the multiple league title winning coach Stuart Baxter coming back to Chiefs, can we see Chiefs reborn? Naves, you don't have to comment. Please just wait.
No, Naves, this is my question. Chief, listen. Let me tell you something, brother. Let me tell you something, man.
Let me tell you
something.
league medals.
Let me tell you something.
But that's not
Let
the
me
question,
tell you
James. Wait.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. It's going to take time. It's going to take time for Chiefs to be reborn. It's going to take time. And I don't even think what we have now is any resemblance of a resurrection of the Chiefs of old. I think, right? In fact, and again, I'm saying this with the benefit of hindsight. So, and please accept my apologies for saying this. Had we won the Champions League, it would have masked a lot of damage that's happening in that camp. And I think it's a blessing in disguise that we didn't win that Champions League, because if we won that Champions League, we would have thought you have no problems. Can I answer my question, Naves? You'll get your chance, Chief. No, Chief, can I finish? Can I finish, Chief, please? Please, Chief. Thank you. Siabong. As I continue, had we won the Champions League, it would have masked the problems that we have. So we do have problems that we still have to solve. Will this be the start of something new for Chiefs? I don't think so. Is it a step towards the right direction? Yes, it is. Have we done enough in the transfer market to say that we're going to perform better than we did last season? The answer to that is no. Are we going to start scoring goals? Are we going to stop leaking goals? The answer to that question is a no. But there might be a steady progression towards the right direction with the right type of coaching, because I feel Stuart Baxter is a better type of coach than his predecessor. And if he continues to drum it into his players, how he wants them to play, it might bear fruit maybe in the next couple of months. We won't see a complete overhaul of results. We won't see a complete change of fortune, and we're not going to all of a sudden see the glory days back again at Chiefs. That's not going to happen. But what will happen is slowly the winds of change will start turning. Maybe in the next transfer window, we'll start competing better when other players start falling out of contracts, which we can sign. So when that happens, then things will change.
I think it's safe to say that Naves is not backing this thing you're saying. So Naves, I don't know what you have to say there about Kaizer Chiefs or wait,
I really think
FC. That's what you call it, right?
If you're holding on to the former glory of the old FC, that's the first problem there. Like, you can't live in the past. You need to come to today. First of all, I just think the FC needs to figure out what they are trying to do and what their strategy is moving forward. Buying players from the mighty Mamelodi SUNDOWNS that are out of contract and thinking you're just going to come in and plug them into your system and it's going to work. It's not going to work, that thing. It's not going to work. You can come, get Dolly, get Kama and Castro and start them up front. You're not going to get the results that they got when they were at Sundowns. You better forget about that thing. You need to spend money, child, in this market to survive. Big teams play in Africa and win trophies. If you don't win the African trophy, you must win domestically. Number 2, you fired Ernest Middendorp for coming second. Where in the world does that make sense? Let's think about it. Also, Promise Mukuma probably has more league medals than Stuart Baxter.
Promise Mukuma.
And that's the problem. Right there is the problem. Right there is the problem.
Promise Mukuma,
Right there is the
This
problem.
Somenzani promise Mukuma, sikhuluma ngeenkinga ezinkulu la. Ungasitshela indaba zo promise Mukuma Somenzani.
Well,
Somenzani indaba promise Mukuma.
Fiso,
Somenzani. Usiza ngani?
I really feel bad for that boy Mashiane, but I feel that he paid a very expensive school fees, and one day the FC will reap the rewards for it.
Oh, siyabonga.
I also think that we need to turn down the volume on hyping up these players. There are a lot of players in this league who I think have, look, does the boy have potential? Yes. Like Blom, does he have potential? Yes. But he's as good as the noise that the Caf finalists are making. There's nothing to show for it. There's absolutely nothing to show for it. The stats don't lie. The stats don't lie. There's nothing there that says that these are overly exceptional products that are going to turn the world around. I believe Mashiane, this is going to make or break him. How he gets up from this will make or break him a good player.
Yeah,
but all this other tavern talk, get out of here, man.
Okay, get out of here. So I know Naves will be backing Sundowns to win yet another title. Menzi,
Yeah, probably.
Our Chiefs gonna creep up the table this coming season. Do you think they'll do a little bit better?
You know what? Next time we have a show, I want to talk about everything except Chiefs because I've got nothing good to say about Chiefs. Chiefs, Fiso, kubuhlungu support Chiefs. Kubuhlungu support club enjengana le.
Now you know how we felt when you guys stole the Rothmans Cup.
Now you know
how we felt.
Let me pour my heart out here. Give me a chance. Give me a chance. Give me a chance.
Let's give him a chance.
Give me a chance. When you have a team that needs to be coached, 100% coached like a PlayStation team, then you know we have problems. I said in the last show we had, quality will always supersede quantity. We don't have either or. You look at the starting 11 that we started with Champions League final, and you think to yourself, okay, what's it moving? Right. No one. There's no one. But that's been like that the whole season. So yes, we were hopeful because we are supporters of the club and we were riding on the euphoria of the luck that got us to the final. But truth be told, each Chiefs, pound for pound, player for player, has nothing but a resemblance of potential. Yes, I'll keep Blom. Yes, I'll keep Utibedi, who's now coming over from Swallows. Yes, I'll keep Mashiad, right? Yes, I'll keep Umashek and the defensive midfielder. Yes, I'll keep those players because I feel they have enough potential to give us something. But that something needs to be combined with something else. And in order for us to get that something else, we need to open up the checkbook and buy. We need to buy and we need to pay. So if the strategy of the team is to not buy players and to not pay top-class salaries for those players that you pay transfer fees for, the best teams in the world go out into the transfer market and compete. We can't be crybabies about the transfer market that has left us. If we can't compete in the transfer market, we'll continue being the laughing stock of what DJ Naves. We'll come onto these platforms and we'll be ridiculed and we'll be sit on the back burner and have to take all of this because of what our club is doing to us as supporters of the club. We don't deserve this as supporters of Kaizer Chiefs. We deserve the best players in the club. Look at that team. Look at the cream that team had coming into this the end of the season. The striker that just was called up for Mafana, his name slips my mind. The guy that scored in the friendlies against Angola. We could have come in and bought a player like that, but we didn't. We could have come in, we could buy that other left back, in the Kosafa squad, Celtics. We're not buying these players. We could go to Arrows. We could buy Usbisi. We could go to Maritzburg and buy Kutumela. We could have gone to Maritzburg and bought Rashin Turuk. We're not doing that. We could have gone to Maritzburg and bought Uganda Mgonyama. We didn't do that. He's gone off to Pirates. We could have gone to SuperSports and bought a Kropler, given them their 10 million. Statu Kropler, he's a goal scorer. Put him there. Go out there and get Ulukuza and put him in the team. He's a creative mindset. Give him the number 10 jersey. Shower him with everything that he needs. Sprinkle him with that wonder juice or wonder dust. Give him that team. Chiefs is a team that used to be like that. So if we can't go there and say, right, it's the 60 million, let's spend 50 or 60% of that on the 3 best players in the country. If we can't do that, then Gagas is compete. So conversations, we are holding on to allegiance. That's what we're holding on to. Allegiance. Say the club. Say the club. Say the club. Say all names, they have everything. As competing no names. All names, but competing no with Casablanca. As competing no Baroque as food kaput. Mobani as sign abadal. Abadal in this Champions League final. I want to fight so. I keep fighting on full winning ball, full side goal. Not even one player. Hey, red card. We are against the Luto. It came in. Luto. So
Pupe, Mali Pupe. Nipatalela izono zenu. Ze Rotman's Cup. Mali Pupe. Mali Pupe.
I Naves, where's your sympathy? Where's your sympathy? Our friend just poured his heart.
I see for sympathy. So laughing stock.
Pupe.
I know, gents. I think we can call it there for tonight. Naves has enjoyed getting stuck into Menzi. Menzi has come out fighting.
If one thing happens, I just need to break one Kaizer Chiefs fan, and I think I've broken you, so I'm happy.
No, you didn't break me. I did that for myself. You didn't break me. You didn't break me. Nah, Chief. You break a person who came out and fought. Me not give telling me. That's the danger names. So if I know, ufika nendu. Ufika nendu uzoshaya inyoka ikile. Ayikho lento yakho. No ways.
Broken.
Our team is broken. You didn't do anything to me.
Broken. You see? Broken. Fuba. Broken.
I know. Let's leave the broken hearted souls, Naves. Let's thank you for your time.
Done with him. He's broken now.
Naves did not want to leave until he came back and break Menzi. Menzi said,
yeah, well done, Naves. Well done for breaking. He's octone.
And those are the final words of a giant horse. Thank you, DJ Naves. Thank you, Menzi Ngcobo. It's been fun. It won't be the last time.
Thank you, leader.
Thank you, gentlemen.
My chief. Shabab.